In the newly released Epstein files, there is an odd exchange going on between Jeffrey Epstein and Israel's former Prime Minister Ehud Barak, where Jeffrey Epstein asks him, "Hey, can you clear up the air and make sure you let everybody know I'm not actually Mossad?" Excuse me. So it's baffling, and it's a interesting email. Let me just go ahead and pull it up for you so you guys can see. So this was written back in 2018, December 17th, 2018. Ehud Barak, the former prime minister of Israel, tells Epstein, "Hi, Jeff. Are you going to be in London on Thursday?" Best, Ehud Barak. Jeffrey Epstein responds, "Unfortunately not. You should make it clear that I don't work for Mossad." Smiley face. Ehud Barak responds to that, said, asking, "You equal sign or I?" He probably misspelled there. "You or I?" Question mark. Jeffrey Epstein responds again, saying that I don't. Happy face, smiley face. So this is kind of the exchange that we have going on. Oh, let me center my screen so you guys can see it better. There we go. And you know, if you have if you were ever weren't convinced that Jeffrey Epstein was an Israeli agent, well, there's your proof. I mean, oh, can you also just let them know, wink, wink, that I don't work for Mossad? What kind of exchange is this? It's like truly the way that they're just pushing everything and writing it all out on email. This among the hundreds of other files that we've seen that just clearly outwardly show, okay, this guy is an Israeli agent. This is one of the files that were released today. And then a few videos back, I made a video showing that there was an FBI document from a confidential source that seems like they were pretty credible based on how close they were to Alan Dershowitz, stating that Alan Dershowitz is basically an Israeli agent. Israeli Mossad agent. Whether or not Alan Dershowitz has the exact title, he's doing everything in line with the Mossad. Jeffrey Epstein working with Alan Dershowitz, being trained and spying for the state of Israel. The more I'm starting to recognize all of this, what I personally believe is that Jeffrey Epstein was basically an asset for the CIA, for the Mossad, especially for Israel. And I don't think he had allegiance to anything except maybe Israel. I think that he was just truly a compromising person. He wanted elite figures working with a network that others were using, and he would blackmail individuals for countries, for powerful people. And this is kind of his thing. He was just this like sick asset that everybody was using to some degree or another. Heavily, of course, because of his Jewish supremacy. Maria Farmer spoke about this, one of his first victims, heavily, much more aligned with Israel. That's what it seems like based on all the evidence we have available. So Ehud Barak is Israel's former prime minister. I wish I had the photo up. There was actually a photo from Hundallah, which is like an Iranian hacker group. They leaked photos and emails of Ehud Barak. Thousands and thousands of emails from Ehud Barak's email. This was, I don't know when these were released. In one of the photos, there's actually a photo of Ehud Barak on Jeffrey Epstein's toilet with a glass of wine, and he's like, he's shirtless or something, or not shirtless. He's just wearing his briefs. Ehud Barak wine photo toilet. Let me see if I can pull it up, just so you guys can really understand the kind of person that Ehud Barak is. Here they are. This is really some weird stuff. Let me share this tab instead so you guys can see that. And this is kind of what I was referring to here. So this is like him on Jeffrey Epstein's bathroom. I don't know why in the hell he would decide to take photos like that, and then these photos would be leaked publicly. Let me reorient the screen so that way you guys can see this one. So that's Ehud Barak, and he was taking all these photos. And again, this is the former Israeli prime minister. So it begs the question, what else did Jeffrey Epstein have ties to within Israel? What else was going on behind the scenes? What we do know is that Jeffrey Epstein was bankrolled by oh my gosh, the founder or the former owner of Victoria's Secret, Les Wexner. And Les Wexner, this billionaire Les Wexner, you definitely remember his face if I show it to you guys. He previously, back in 1991, started the Mega Group. It was also called the Study Group. Let me pull up a photo of Les Wexner so you guys can see him. This guy right over here. And he formed the Study Group back in 1991. And it was basically an elite club of the nation's wealthiest Jewish elite. Wealthiest, like this is $1 billion plus Jewish elite. And it was called the Study Group, and it was very, very discreet. The media wouldn't talk about it. Very few people were talking about it. And there was only one article that I could find on it. Here it is. This is a 1998 article from the Wall Street Journal Titans of industry join forces to work together on Jewish philanthropy. This is literally the only title that's really mentioning the mega group. It really wasn't that spoken about at all. And in the article, it talks about how, again, this is the billionaire that bankrolled Jeffrey Epstein. So it talks about how they brought together the nation's wealthiest Jewish individuals, and they started focusing on how can they, one, of course, push Jewish causes in the United States, which is great, that's fine and dandy. Number two, how can they push the interests of Israel in the United States? And very quickly, they began working with Israeli agents. And Jeffrey Epstein, at the same time, working with Les Wexner, had full access and was part of this group. He had full access to every single billionaire in this group. If you know Birthright for Israel, where Jewish individuals around the globe can get a free trip to Israel, well, Charles Seagram, one of the billionaires that was involved in the mega group, that is part of the mega group, actually decided to create that organization, Birthright for Israel, within the mega group. That's the mega group thought up that organization. The mega group was working diligently pushing Israeli policy in the United States. There have been accusations by a former CIA official stating, there was actually a Israeli mole in the State Department known as Mega, and Bill Clinton was looking for the Israeli mole known as Mega. And there was allegations made that, the reason the Monica Lewinsky scandal came to light is because of the fact that Bill Clinton didn't follow suit in stopping the search for the Israeli mole. If you look back in the late 1990s, you would see there was a lot of reports coming out stating that they're searching for a mole named Mega in the State Department. And all of a sudden, all of these articles dropped. They just completely stopped talking about it in the media, and the mega group really wasn't spoken about much. And now that everything's coming back to light, people are recognizing, oh, wait, there was this elite club back in the early 90s that Jeffrey Epstein was using to connect with all of these elite billionaires. They were pushing the interests of Israel in the United States while he's grabbing compromising material. Les Wexner goes out publicly and says, oh, I actually had nothing to do with this. I'm not affiliated with Jeffrey Epstein at all in this sick way. He's disgusting. I had nothing to do with it. I'm just this innocent billionaire that clearly only thinks about the good things in life, and I don't affiliate with that sort of degeneracy BS, as we all know. That's kind of what's going on behind the scenes. And Jeffrey Epstein was an asset within the mega group, and these billionaires would be like, okay, go do this, go do that, the state of Israel, whatever else. This is kind of how the Jeffrey Epstein empire was, or the Jeffrey Epstein, who he is as a person, was built through this elite network and through the access and resources and money they all had combined. And I haven't seen any articles about the mega group anytime recently. I don't, whether or not they're just kind of working with each other, not within the framework of this group, who's to say? But that's kind of how things really got started. It all started back in the early 90s when it has to do with the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing, especially when it really took off for him was in early 90s, especially in the formation of the mega group. So I made a previous video on the mega group as well. I can make another one later. Let me know in the comments if you find it interesting. But that's really it for this video, guys. Also, if you want to join as a member, I'd appreciate it. I do daily recap videos every day, so it's only like $5 a month if you want to join. Otherwise, subscribe below and give it a thumbs up as well to help reach more people like you. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye.